So if you remember from yesterday, they had the equipment and some logs here. When I left a little bit before noon today, there was a huge stack of logs over here. I guess they cleaned it up and left what they're not using. And they moved all the equipment. This was the staging area. So, should be interesting, but this is not our property. So I try not to walk onto this side or this area. The easement is our access. But all that's gone. I don't think they're gonna do anything else. So let me get back to, just like 10 years ago, a month or two after we bought our property here, we came for a walk and you were able to see sky through the trees. And I said, no, that wasn't, something's happened over there because you couldn't see. It was just dense and dark. You know, just like looking through this side, you don't see sky until you look way up. So they cut through here. That's fine. And they were able to cut and take the logs to the staging area where they did all the cutting. Oh man. We have a tractor, fortunately, so we could do a lot of stuff, but we still have to do a lot of things manually. Picking up, cleaning. I have a shipping container project I want to do, and that's why we needed the area cleared. Oh, nice. Look at the sun. Wow. So they left, as you can see, they left all the hardwoods that they could. That didn't get in the way. There were some big trees. Just taking this all in. So that's on the next property over. They didn't even touch this corner. So this right here is the highest point on this side. It goes down to a gully that goes across the center of the property and then goes back up on the other side. So we have our shooting range down there. So there's no chance of anything leaving our property without going into dirt. Wow. All the sunlight that's now coming through. There was a bunch of pines in here. And if you can see that pine tree, yeah, there it is. It's outside the cut line. You can see where the pink tape is over here. And that huge pine tree is outside the cutting area that we had kind of squared off. But we wanted to make sure that nobody saw that and thought, oh yeah, it's a monster pine tree. We put that's a hardwood. And if they had to take down any of these other hardwoods, we didn't care, but we wanted to kind of keep that one. And we have some more cut. So they went in there and got a bunch of pines that were in that area. And I guess the other pines are just too skinny and not worth their time. That was over there. And the smell, that definitely of pines. But in this area, is where I want to start getting some shipping containers. So it's got to get cleared and leveled, dug down some. I like to get all the topsoil here and relocate it to where I want the garden. Currently, I have moved that garden so many times since moving here 8 years ago because it just isn't working out. And I'm doing and anyway, that's another video topic. But this is just kind of I thought it'd be more gone. That's a dead pine tree. But it's amazing with that equipment how they're able to get in and just get what they want. I'm also watching out for snakes. Okay, snakes are out. We saw one on the easement last week, and it was a fast black racer. So I'm trying to look at the. I'm walking in the tire tread from one of them, and the tire's over 2 feet. That can't be. It doesn't look fresh, but that's got, yeah, there was nothing cut down here before. And you can see where we had it marked off on that side. And that, we wanted to save that big hardwood if we could. Yeah, I don't know what they did for them to be black. Yeah, I guess the blade that they use on these smaller ones is different because the big pine stumps aren't blackened. I guess they're using a lightsaber on the smaller ones. Do you see the difference? And I'm not. See, here's one they cut really close to the ground. I guess that's what makes it turn black. But I'm also looking out for poison ivy and poison oak out here. Yeah, there's another darkened stump. And that one just got pushed over. Yeah, they cut the top Interesting. It'd be good if we can come through and get any of the hardwood and put that away for our firewood, because our firewood is so old. And I was having an allergic reaction to some of them that had some, I'm pretty sure it's the false turkey tail fungus. So if we can have, when I breathed in that smoke, it just caused a really bad reaction. So if we can have some fresh firewood that doesn't have anything growing, any turkey tails growing on it. Wow. And you see how it goes way down, and then it starts going back up. Yeah, there was a huge pine. You barely see the stump. Wow. I will need to learn how to use the tractor. We've had that for 8 years, and there's things I want to do, and I don't want to bother my husband for it, but I need to be taught safety stuff. Wow. Look at the sky. There's still, like I said, the owner of the property that they had the staging and everything to, that's 120 acres and almost 200 acres next to it. It's an odd shape. It's not 4 sides, it's multiple sides to it, and wraps around other people's properties and stuff. I think they relocated it and created another staging area for them to load their trucks. But this is just, wow. If you've ever been in a sawmill, that smell of the pines being milled is really strong. I wanted to come out and video them actually doing some stuff, but it's not safe. They won't be able to hear me. I had, there's distance and they liability issues, and I totally, whenever someone puts that out there, I listen. I'm accident prone in the best of circumstances, so I'm not going to risk it under the worst of circumstances. But I'm just excited because now if we have a delivery, they should be able to come in and drop off the containers here when we're ready. Probably be toward the end of summer, after getting this cleared and other stuff done, and we probably want to cut down, even though that's a big hardwood. You see it looks like it got snapped off at the top. Part of the plans is to put some solar panels up over here. We don't have enough cleared land, except maybe right on top of our own roof, to put solar panels up. So all these little ones have to come down, and then see how the sun is coming through over here in the morning. So maybe looking at the shadow of the trees that are behind me falling this way right now. It's going on evening. The sun is setting over there. We might needed to have allowed them to thin more out this way. but we wanted to keep it to where you cannot see our house from here. So if we built something over here to live in, or someone else was to live in, we don't see each other. So even though it's family, sometimes that's the best way to set things up. You don't see each other. Wow. So that's odd. I wonder if they trenched it, if they patched that and then dug it back up after. But they look like they rode right through it. They didn't go this way at all, because that limb was there yesterday. And they were out early. You could hear them working very early this morning. You could have all the equipment, the sounds, the banging, the sawing, the felling of the trees, the cracking of them. Still peaceful. And it's not so bad. It's not. When they clear cut that property 10 years ago, pretty much all of it was gone. There was not a tree standing. Hardwood, pine, nothing. Not a tree was standing over there. And now, over here, what did they do? I wish I could have watched. I wish I had a little drone that could have been flown over here to watch this. This is pretty neat. And it felt like such a big piece when the trees were here. And now with the trees cut down, it doesn't feel like, oh, did we get enough cut? Oh. But we're happy. I think they did a fabulous job. Their job was to harvest certain woods. It wasn't to clear this for us. That's a different company or something for us to do. And now I think I'm starting to babble. Thanks for joining me. What do you think? I know it's crazy, but I've got this idea for a shipping container mansion put right up here, and if possible, off-grid. Solar panel, wind turbines. We'll need to get a well dug, and it'll be somewhat central to this property, and we bought the property next door. It became ours last month. And eventually I would like our grandkids living out here, but we don't intrude. And we bought that property for them to hunt on and develop as they want to do. But they're, right now, one just graduated, and he's going to a technical school. Don't want to go into the details of that, but he's got an internship, so that's all paid for. The other one is right now out in Kansas learning Japanese, and he's set school-wise. He's the college one, and he's going into the Air Force. So and if my son doesn't give me grandkids, then those are the two grandkids that will get all of the other property. Oh, I'm just, wow. I'll have to let all this sink in and come back out here and mark off and get my vision going. Thanks for joining me. It's amazing what they did. And they just did a strip. Getting how nature did itself. I don't believe they normally when you see planted tree forests, the trees are straight. You can find where there's a row and there's rows and rows of trees, and it's not that way out here. The property behind us is another 200-acre plot, and I'm not sure of any additional plots near it, owned by a paper mill company. So they're after pulpwood, that's what they do. And they have, they harvest that in patches also. And yeah, last year you could not see sky through the trees. Thanks for joining me. Be a blessing and be blessed.